Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Welcome to the Explainer. So, today, we're breaking down an absolute heavyweight credential for data professionals, the Cloudera Certified Data Engineer. If you are looking to seriously level up your career and master enterprise data systems, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it. Look, before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's talk about why this actually matters. $170,000. Yep, you heard that right. That is the top-end U.S. salary potential for this role. The stakes are definitely high, but the financial reward for mastering this ecosystem, it's massive.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Meet the CDP certification. 2. Decoding the exam. 3. Your 12-week roadmap. 4. Career and salary perks. And 5. Is it worth it? By the end of this, you're going to know exactly what this takes.
Section 1. Meet the CDP certification.
Okay, let's dive into this. The CDP Data Engineer credential validates your practical ability to design, build, optimize, secure, and maintain enterprise-grade data pipelines using the Cloudera Data Platform. And honestly, what's absolutely crucial here is that word practical. Unlike a lot of beginner certs that just test your theory, this one actually evaluates if you can build reliable, working solutions in the real world. Now, to be totally clear about what this is, we kind of need to look at what it isn't. This certification is entirely independent from Microsoft. It belongs solely to Cloudera, which integrates heavy-hitting tech like Hadoop, Spark, Kafka, Hive, and Iceberg all into one massive enterprise platform. So if you want Microsoft, look at Azure. But for the Cloudera ecosystem, this is literally the gold standard. Section 2. Decoding the exam. All right, let's look at the hard specs, the grand trial of your career quest, if you will. The exam itself is simply called Cloudera Data Engineer. You're facing 50 questions with exactly 90 minutes on the clock. It runs around $300, and it's valid for a solid 2 years. But pay close attention to the delivery. This is entirely online with live remote proctoring. There are no physical test centers right now, so your living room or your home office, that's your arena. Now, what's really interesting here is the passing score. You only need a 55% to pass. I know, right? For a highly technical, enterprise-grade exam, that threshold is incredibly achievable. Don't let all the big data terminology intimidate you. With focused, consistent work, getting over that 55% mark is well within your reach. So what exactly is that work? Well, you're going to be tested across 9 key topics. This ranges from data engineering fundamentals and storage design all the way to security and cloud integration. But notice the heavy hitters here: Apache Spark, Airflow, and Iceberg. These are absolute staples in modern data lakes, and knowing how to really optimize them is exactly what employers are begging for right now. Section 3. Your 12-week roadmap. Look, before day 1 of that 12-week timeline, you absolutely need a foundation. We are talking SQL, Python, Linux commands, Git, ETL concepts, and basic Spark. To be clear, Cloudera doesn't actually require formal prerequisite certifications. You don't need a prior piece of paper to take this. But without a baseline understanding of these coding languages, you're definitely going to be struggling to keep up. Okay, once your baseline is locked in, here is your 5-phase sprint. Weeks 1 and 2, solidify your basics like Python and Git. Weeks 3 through 5 scale up into big data with Hadoop and Kafka. By weeks 6 through 8, you are mastering Apache Spark. Weeks 9 and 10 tackle Airflow and Iceberg pipelines. And finally, weeks 11 and 12 are all about mock exams and performance tuning. It's a highly structured montage taking you from basics all the way to mastery. When Judgment Day finally arrives, the rules are pretty strict. You've got 90 minutes to tackle those 50 questions, aiming for that 55% mark. You must follow the live proctoring rules perfectly. And here is the real kicker: absolutely no reference materials. Seriously. You can't just Google Spark syntax or check an Airflow dependency. It all has to be right there in your head, which is exactly why that 12-week prep is so critical.
Section 4. Career and salary perks.
The job scope waiting for you on the other side? It is massive. You aren't just pigeonholed into one hyper-specific title. You could be a big data engineer, a Spark developer, an analytics engineer, you name it. With this credential, you become a highly sought-after asset across basically any industry that's desperately building modern AI-driven platforms, from finance to healthcare to retail. And this brilliantly illustrates the global demand for these specific skills.
In the US, you're looking at top-end averages up to $170,000. Canada sits around 140,000 CAD, while the UK and Germany reach 90,000 pounds and 95,000 euros respectively. The need for people who can actually orchestrate distributed data processing is completely real and, as you can see, highly lucrative.
Section 5. Is it worth it? So let's impartially weigh the pros and cons here, right? On the plus side, this globally validates modern skills and proves you know critical tools like Spark and Airflow. That gives you major enterprise credibility. However, it requires serious hands-on practice. You really can't just read a book to pass this one. Furthermore, it is specific to the Cloudera ecosystem. So if your dream employer runs strictly native AWS or Azure, their vendor-specific certs might be a more direct path for you.
Ultimately, the source material actually puts it best. For beginners aiming for a career in data engineering, this certification can be a valuable milestone when combined with solid SQL, Python, Spark, and real-world project experience. Basically, this certification is a powerful multiplier, but it's not a magic wand. Your hands-on experience is what really brings the credential to life.
Which leaves us with one final thought. Are you ready to engineer your future, or will you be left in the data dust? The tools, the roadmap, and the massive rewards are all right here in front of you. The next move is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for watching.